This is the 2011 1772 Pinot Noir. All of the 1772s represent the very best barrels that are in the cellar for any given vintage. We selected 11 barrels in this vintage. Curiously, the lots that were selected from were all made from right in front of the winery. There's two blocks that are on your right as you drive up to the winery itself. Both Dijon clones, one Dijon 667, the other Dijon 115. We have access to all the Pinot blocks on the winery when selecting this, but in 2011, those two blocks made the very best wine. Like the rest of the wines of this vintage, has some slight herbal tones. There's also very, very high violet or raspberry, one of my favorite aroma aspects. There's also, because the lots that are selected for 1772 are more intense, they need a little bit more oak to balance, so it's slightly oakier than our estate. And much richer and weightier on the mouth. It's got more of everything. In a certain sense, it's a condensation or intensification of the characteristics of the vintage end up in the 1772s. The 11 Pinot Noir is a pretty balanced vintage, so I think that this vintage of 1772 will be accessible earlier than average. Normally these 1772s need a couple years of bottle age before you want to consider drinking them, but I think with this vintage, it'll give more pleasure than it normally does in the first year or so.